We are reading from the 46th Yukti, one of the 112 gateways to the Yoga of Wonder and Delight. This is the 69th verse overall in the scripture. Fair warning, this is a tantric scripture, and although it's more of a stereotype that the branch of mystical yoga called Tantra has to do with our sexuality and how we can use the intimacy of our bodies for spiritual union. And most of Tantra actually does not deal with that, but all sorts of other different techniques. It does so happen that this verse is one of those more stereotypical verses, or the verses that get generalized to be the majority when it's actually the minority. If you're comfortable with that, please feel free to stay, and I'll chant the Sanskrit and we'll read the translation, and we'll pick out a single word from the Sanskrit and use that as a seed for the practice that this contains. Shakti Sangama Sangshubdha Shaktya Veshavasanikam Yat Sukham Brahma Tatvasya Tat Sukham Swakyam Uchyate. This is the Divine Masculine speaking to his beloved, the Divine Feminine. It poetically means something like, at the moment of orgasm, the truth is illumined, the one everyone longs for. Love making is riding the currents of excitation into revelation. Two rivers flow together. The body becomes quivering. No inside and no outside, only the delight of union. The mind releases itself into divine energy, and the body knows where it came from. This is reality, and it is always here. Everyone craves the source, and it is always everywhere. The word of the verse is Sangama. It's spelt in a few different ways due to a phoneme that doesn't quite exist in English. In the International Alphabet of Sanskrit Transliteration, it's written S-A-M with a dot under the M. An M with a dot under it is called the Anuswara. It kind of changes its sound depending on its environment. And then the rest of the word is spelled G-A-M-A. But you might see it spelled S-A-N-G-A-M-A. And sometimes the N has a dot over it because the Anuswara becomes a guttural nasal, Sangama. It comes from the root gum, meaning to go, but it could also mean to come. And the prefix sam, meaning complete or whole or together. So the full meaning, samgama, means coming together, meeting, union. And of course, in a tantric context, it can mean intercourse. It can also mean connection or contact with in general, or explicitly sexual union. More generally, again, it can mean a confluence, like the confluence of two rivers, or of a river and the ocean. Such confluences are always held sacred. Or the conjunction of planets might be called a samgama. It can also refer to harmony, or adaptation, or the point of intersection, or that which is united. The practice in this yukti The moment of orgasm is the gateway to cosmic awareness. When we come together in orgasm, you and your partner, the rivers of Shakti flow into each other. There is a series of perceptions to enjoy and embrace along the way. First, honor the Shakti, the divine power manifesting in you and your lover. The desire for sex is a gift of the divine. And I particularly appreciate that in this spiritual tradition, sexuality isn't demonized. It's, in fact, spiritualized when done with utmost care and consent, of course. The honor of the coming together of two Shaktis, the Shakti of your passion and the Shakti of your lover, you are flowing toward each other. Honor that. You yearn to gush. Then, honor the sensations of orgasm, which flood every cell and nerve of your body as a manifestation of the essential happiness of your own soul. The verse invites you to know, this flash of joy is my essential reality. This is something very beautiful that the Tantrikas say. Many people wonder, what does enlightenment feel like? Oh, who can say? Well, the Tantrikas say everyone who has ever experienced an orgasm already knows a little bit about what enlightenment feels like. That ecstatic union where for that moment everything is wonderful. It's kind of like that. So, use all the skills of yoga you have developed in your daily practice to cherish each moment of lovemaking. When you find the meditation practice that truly suits your individual nature, it will enhance your ability to be present with this intensity that's always there, just behind the scenes. Every other sutra prepares us for lovemaking and gives the body a chance to be ready to give and receive love. Prana Shakti flows through our senses like a river of energy and tunes them for life, enlightenment, and sex. Orgasm is a magnificent moment, and every nerve has to be ready, willing, and able to partake of the mystery. That's the word of the 46th verse. Sangama. It's a beautiful word. Now, let's read another verse, shall we? This is the 47th verse. And these are great verses for lovers, for those that want to partake in worldly life and have a spiritual practice that does not contradict their worldly life. Because, you know, a lot of us may get the impression, at least early on, that spiritual life is all about renouncing these things, which is absolutely true for the sannyasin, for those that want to take the path of renunciation, join a monastic order, become a monk or a mendicant. But not everyone can live like that. If the whole world lived like that, well, there'd be no next generation. This is the 70th verse overall. Am lehana Bandhana kotai stri sukhasya bharat smrtehi shaktya bhave pideveshe bhavedananda samplavaha. It means when by oneself flooded with delight simply in the memory of that kiss. Here is the inner ritual, that lick, that taste of nectar, that caress, embrace, particular pleasure. Your subtle body replays the dance, inundated by divine sensations, melting, merging, swelling. Surrender to the deluge. Know it as your own. This ocean of bliss is you. The word of the verse is lehana. Lehana. It means the act of licking, tasting, or lapping with the tongue. Another one of those very stereotypical tantric verses or words. The practice. We can bathe in the experience of lovemaking again and again, even if we are not with our lover. Welcome the memory of kissing, licking, lapping, touching, and being touched, whatever else you do in your own practice. And in meditation, allow your consciousness to open up to the universe embracing you. Love changes us. Its touch goes deep inside and remains in our cellular memory. The delight is supposed to be lasting. If you have ever been in love or want to be, you can let your heart and soul be filled with the juiciness of this love as if it were happening right now. During meditation, recall the experience of making love and let it energize all your nerves. Sexual arousal is a form of prana shakti flowing through your body, nourishing you and rejuvenating your will to live. This is an important practice on the path of intimacy. We learn so much from love. The sense memory of any moment of love can be a gateway into a deeply nourishing meditation. Simple moments of embrace change the cells of our bodies. Your daily meditation practice should keep you tuned for sex, vacations, work, and play. When you think of lovemaking and savor the feeling, your nerves tingle. This will happen spontaneously, and it will come and go. Even a second of that tingle feeds life-giving prana through the nerves. You could be lying in the sun, walking in the wind, feeling the contact of nature on your skin, and be reminded of your lover's caress. Although lovemaking memories are particularly nourishing, many kinds of memories feed us. Bharat smrtehi. That's a fun word. BharatSmrteh. Bharat smrtehi. Meaning nourished, full in Sanskrit. Smr is the root meaning to remember in Sanskrit, to recollect. And notice that within the English word remember is member, which in Sanskrit is anga. Remembering is itself a form of yoga, connecting, linking together. There is a joke within the word samplava, Samplavah. Samplava, which means flowing together, meeting and swelling of waters, flood, deluge, noise, tumult, especially of battle, submersion by water, destruction, ruin. One day when I was working on this text, the author says, a friend called and said, I'm ruined. I have the perfect job, perfect apartment, perfect yoga class, the perfect circle of friends. My life is as good as can be if you are a single woman living alone at the age of 35. But I met a man that I love, and now I have to throw all that away and change everything so that I can be with him. That is the power of love, isn't it? Let's read one more verse. This is the 48th Yukti and the 71st verse overall. Anande mahati prapte drshte va bandhave chirat anandamudgatam dhyatva tallayastan mana bhavet. It means something like, in the great joy of seeing a loved one after a long absence, a flash of recognition ignites you. Space becomes charged. The bond between you shimmers, and a surge of delight arises in your being. Beloved, find within you the source of this surge. Melt into that place of upwelling, a wave rolling in a vast ocean of delight. And the word of the verse is Bhandava. Bhandava. Baandhava. Bhandava. It means a kinsman or a relation, especially a maternal relation or a friend. The practice? When you are meditating and think of someone, a friend or family member, savor the nature of the bond between you. If you love the person, there is joy in that bond. You can meditate on that ananda. It is a path to the soul. Bhandava refers to bonding and resonates with bandha, which means connection or intercourse with, putting together, uniting. It's a mode of sexual union. There are said to be 16, 18, 36, or even 84 modes. Constructing, building a bridge, bridging over the sea, directing the mind or eyes, conceiving, cherishing, feeling, arrangement of musical sounds, composition, a border, framework, enclosure, receptacle, a sinew, tendon. Bandha is a realm of yoga techniques that involve containing the vital energies or prana in the body, of the body. Thus, the word suggests that any attachment, any of your relationships, if approached with skillful awareness, is a yoga. Bandha is building a bridge over the sea, making a connection between two hearts. Our relationships are pathways to enlightenment. When we are bonded with other people, it is as if there are strings connecting our hearts to theirs, and these strings vibrate as they stretch. A bond of relationship is a tendon, and also an arrangement of musical sounds. There is a music to each of our bonds. Bonding is an experience we all know, a very human moment. The teaching suggests we dive deeper into the joy of relatedness, of bonding, and cherish it with the total power of our attention. Take this rising bliss, this anandam udgatam, as a gift of the divine. Meditate on it and merge with it. Ananda is a dimension of the divine, a vast oceanic experience, an ocean of delight. Even though we, as souls, are incarnate, we are also in oneness with the bliss of eternal consciousness, Satchit Ananda. When we see someone we love, a gateway to this divine bliss opens up. Each separation and reunion with a loved one reminds us of the union of body and soul. One of the meanings of yoga is union, and therefore a reunion teaches us something about yoga. Make a practice of meditating on this joy. Each person you love or have loved is a doorway to the divine. When you think of them, it is as if you are thinking a mantra, a name of God. When you unite with them, even by cherishing their memory in your heart, you are practicing a kind of bhakti, love yoga. Dogs are masters of this dharana. When dogs see someone they love, they don't hold back. They levitate with bliss. It rises in them and they leap. Lately, part of my practice has been to meditate on the uninhibited joy dogs express, shares the author. Teachers are everywhere in our environment and in the connections we have with all other living beings. Who are your teachers on the path of love? Thank you for listening. This has been a wonderful reading session of the Radiance Sutras again. I appreciate it. I especially enjoy being able to listen with you as we go through it. And if that brought out anything you want to reflect on, please feel free to share.